Do something right for once in your life.
Warning, this podcast may contain bad language and content that some listeners may find offensive. Luckily, we'll have different words to describe the word offensive, such as...
Offensive.
Oh,
You put me on.
Not as good as he thought.
No.
T-asaurus Rex with a lie. But we are back after what seems like a long time, and today, if you're a student or trying to get into work, often our favorite topic, then this one is for you with some serious adjustments. Adjustments. I said it correctly.
I mean, you question my thesaurus skills. It sounds like you have basic speaking problems.
Don't rag on my disability.
Well,
This is not what this show's about.
hopefully we can adjust for that using this handy government planner. And then we'll leave again for the intro. Welcome back to Seesaw Podcast, the Salty Sams and Salty Selinas of podcasts. We are back after a long time, as Cleves alluded to.
A week.
Yes. But if you're on Twitch, you'll know that it has been a bit of a time. And we're going to phone to Selina, and she can explain to you why there has been a lack in the scheduled programming.
Well, actually, just on the salty bit, like, did you know, if you translate my name directly of what its meaning is, it means salty moon.
Right.
So why'd you give me all that shit earlier when that was an interesting fact you could have used?
And it's just come to me as you said, salty Selina. So,
In what language? Because selling is salt in French, right? But I'd never heard of Ina. Oh, Luna, maybe.
Luna, like moon, you see.
Well,
Cell is like
Luna
cells.
and Lena is different words, isn't it?
Crazy salt, eh?
But Greek goddess of the moon, if you do it to Greek, Selina, which I prefer.
Oh,
okay.
I like to think of Looney, crazy salt, where you can order at any place that sells chips. I had the crazy salt, please. They just smash it on chips. There you go. Oh, okay.
Fucking hell.
But yeah.
I know.
Anyway, why have we been away on Twitch? Well, actually,
You've been away.
I've been away in Turkey for like 1 week, and then we just had content already, so that's why we didn't record. It's not like I've been away for 3 weeks.
How was Turkey? I hear it's not as cheap as it used to be.
It was. That wasn't really the issue. The issue was our hotel was literally in the middle of nowhere, like off a motorway. Was the view from our room. And I kind of starved for a week because they like a lot of meat in Turkey. Everything's with meat, and they don't really
famous for kebabs.
Yes.
Okay.
So, it was okay to get some sunshine, and the hotel was supposed to be 5-star, but I'd question that.
They weren't stars, they were asterisks.
Like every major aspect of
every
hotel
5
medicine.
asterisks. 1 may not be a hotel. 2, hotel doesn't have toilets. 3, hotel doesn't have vegan options.
4,
oh
no, they
the
had a
motorway
vegan
outside.
Corner. This is the joke. They had a vegan corner, and what
is that
was
where you
on
had to sit, or where the food was?
the food, and that what was on offer was boiled Brussels sprouts. That was the vegan option. It was pretty horrific.
Well, the lesson take from this is don't be a vegan. Or if you're
I'm
vegan,
not vegan.
don't go to
I'm
Turkey.
pescatarian, but then like the fish out there, I don't know. The beach, like attached to the hotel, the sea stunk, and the fish kind of tasted similar, bitter. Don't do good fish out there. It was all very disappointing in that sense.
Oh, that's bad. Did you do anything fun while you were there?
We went to see Turkalini waterfall.
Tortellini waterfall.
I thought you said Turkalini.
Turkalini waterfall.
Oh.
Which was our big 1 day of leaving the all-inclusive hotel, big venture out to this waterfall.
Okay, it sounded quite impressive at first, then by the end of the day you went waterfall, and it was a sort of down.
It was just a little waterfall full of tourists just taking photos. Say you've been to this waterfall. I mean, a waterfall's a waterfall. Could hear the lovely gushing.
Whoa. Let's back up a second there. I've been to some waterfalls in my time. Dare I say, I don't enjoy any other natural feature more than a waterfall. I even like a good fountain. You ask anyone. Um,
You've been to Niagara, haven't you?
I have been to Niagara. This is where I was going.
I don't think it was a scratch on Niagara.
Went to Niagara, went to the Maid in the Mist, and I've also walked up a waterfall in Jamaica. I walked up 2 waterfalls in Jamaica.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that
And
sounds amazing.
yeah, it was sick.
Treacherous.
At first, all of the Jamaican guides thought I was wasted. Then they realized I couldn't see very well. And they were very helpful and accommodating. I would recommend it to anyone, sighted or none.
See, you couldn't really do anything exciting like that with this waterfall. It was probably about 6 foot high, to be quite honest. It was not like.
Could you at least like put your hand in it?
No.
So, not being funny, right? Could you feel it? Like, was there any spray coming your way?
No spray, but I could hear the.
How do you know you just weren't in the bathroom with someone trickling the taps?
Yeah, I mean, it could have been, and I could only hear it on like one side of the waterfall. We had to go round, and then I could hear it. But I mean,
I thought you were just ragging on Turkey. Apologies, Turkey. I hear you're actually a very culturally diverse and beautiful country, but you just haven't shown Selina the respect she deserves.
If you'd gone there for like getting your hair or teeth done, if you needed that done, it's famous for that now.
Yes, it definitely is. And no, I didn't go for that. I was tempted to get my hair braided in the hotel.
Oh, like a 90s child.
But I didn't.
Oh, that would have been quite fun to have had on the podcast, actually.
Yeah.
Did you not even just get the one? You know, some people just have one braided.
Yeah, no, I was tempted. Like, I'll get a few, but no, I didn't.
Oh.
Maybe next time.
They
I'm not going
provided
back
some
to
good
Turkey.
stories.
I'm done with Turkey. To be honest.
Jesus.
How did it just wasn't the hotel?
I think it would have been nice if we tried to go for a walk, right? Like multiple days of leaving this hotel in different directions into the like nowhere. We were walking to nowhere. But then we managed to walk to another hotel, right? And they wouldn't let us in. But then the next day we managed to walk onto the beach of the other hotel. So we started walking through on the beach, and they couldn't tell us to get off the beach because it's a beach. And then we started walking on the path of this hotel, and security were following us behind. And our beach of this hotel like linked. So our plan was just to walk back on into the grounds of our hotel. We keep walking, security following us behind, and then we find out there's water, as the security guard told us, between the 2 hotels. So the beaches aren't actually connected, and we had to walk through the sea to get back to our hotel. There was no other option. Security was like, yeah, water, go, walk. Bye.
Oh, well,
Get off our land.
Wow.
Sounds a bit militarian and militarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Militant.
Where's T when you need him?
I'm not bailing you out of every faux pas that you say.
You come from a military town.
Well, no, I come from Margate. I just lived in a military town for a while.
You're fine. You come from a military family.
I do.
But then my granddad was also in the army, so shut my mouth.
Yeah. And if you go back enough generations, I think you'll all find that pretty much every family has some form of military history. What with having 2 huge global conflicts in the last 100-odd years.
True. I don't know if there's any
only just in the last 100 years, though.
Yeah. And that's why I said, yeah, approximately. So, well,
anywho,
on the accessibility, how many thumbs up out of 5 would you give it for Turkey?
Within the hotel, they did have disabled toilets. I'm trying to think if you could actually get around the hotel accessibility. They had lifts. I couldn't get around by myself. It was one of those I have no idea where I was going day to day. Around the hotel. Yeah. I mean, I'll give it 3.
Okay.
What would you give the holiday out of 5?
Yeah, I'll give it 2.5.
Oh, that's half. That's not bad.
Okay.
Bang average.
At least the weather was good. Like, God, if it was raining on top of that, it would just been depressing.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. there you have it. There's a review of Turkey. We'll wait for a Vietnam review from Cleves later in the year. And I've recently I bought a holiday to Egypt in December as well. So we'll get
Oh,
yeah.
Going to Egypt.
Yeah, going
I've
to
been to
Egypt.
Egypt twice.
I've been to Egypt twice as well.
Oh, this is my first time.
Actually, I don't know how many times I've been to Egypt. I think it's quite a few. I've been at least twice anyway.
They get me some of those pyramid rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the Sphinx has no nose, right?
I don't think I'd see it anyway.
It's because it's not there.
Oh,
Just told you that.
how seriously? Okay.
I
Well-
actually have one bit of news. I haven't really been doing anything in the last couple of weeks of merit. However, myself and T are going to Sight Village officially in Birmingham this year. Because I booked it the other day. So Monday the 8th, if you're in Birmingham, knocking around, we'll be around.
That's exciting. I completely forgot about that. We just talked about that, and I have not looked at that or the dates or anything.
Well, we're going Monday.
Yep.
Okay.
This is more to let you know, Selina, than anyone else.
Yep.
Yeah.
One day this time around as well. Last year we went to Sight Village. We had a really good time, but we realised into the second day, after around being there for an hour and a half, we'd pretty much spoken to everyone.
They've got some party thing going on this year. Big 30th celebrations or something, haven't they?
Well, double thing. I've also booked for us to go to that because the tickets were free. And if we decide not to go, then we can go down the pub, whatever. But we can go if we want. I don't even know what's actually going on yet because the description of it was incredibly vague. It's a celebration of visually impaired talent and those that have contributed to Sight Village over the last 30 years. If only there was an itinerary.
Yep. And we
Aren't we
weren't
showcasing
invited.
our talent? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Should we showcase our talent?
Well, that's why we got free tickets. We're just gonna show up.
A party featuring fucking Thesaurus Rex, Salty Moon, and Cleves. Great.
Wow, we need a new intro. Okay. Any other news, blind news, other news to catch everyone up before we go on to the topic?
Just a quick one. I was at RNC at the weekend.
What?
Football?
Football. It's so weird though. It doesn't feel like RNC because we go to the Point 4, which just wasn't built when we were there. So I just don't feel like I'm at RNC proper.
Yeah, but did you enjoy it when you were there? Can you be nostalgic for something that you didn't really enjoy?
Did you enjoy it? Maybe you did.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, I'm really nostalgic over the toothache I had last year. Oh, that was a fun time. Yeah.
Out of 5, would you give it 0.4?
Yeah. What's exciting is in July, the 19th to the 20th of July, I'm actually going to be staying over at RNC. And not only that, the 20th of July is my birthday. So, yeah, I'm going to stay in halls and everything. Then it'll be super nostalgic and the way I want to celebrate my birthday.
One of those things that, again, starts really great and then it just tails off towards the end.
Yeah. They were like, oh, maybe you can get your old room. I was like, I think it's classrooms now.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be giving me my old room.
Yeah. Well, at least you can come out of the rooms. Who I did hear during the COVID pandemic, they weren't allowed out their rooms. Like they basically had food brought to them, but I was thinking even prisoners like get some time out to have a bit of a wander.
I believe it's known as yard time.
Yes. But apparently that wasn't a thing from discussions with people during that pandemic. And the lockdown, it was, here's your meal, close the door, lock it. But
Lights out.
months. Yeah. But months and months, which sounds like it fucking sucked. And I would have left if I was there at that point. I would have just gone home.
You haven't been able to. You were locked from the outside.
That is very illegal. But, yeah. Okay.
Episode.
Right. Topic O the week. So, we'll have to talk about employment, employability,
This
coming
is for
out of,
people as going out from school to university as well.
yep. So students graduating this year, congratulations. Hopefully, enjoy your graduation. Hopefully, they're notoriously not that accessible. So we have something that Cleves came across, and it is an adjustments planner.
Yeah, I'd like to thank someone called Chloe for this. I did a meeting for Look Charity for some students, and she told me about this. And it's effectively well, it's a document that effectively documents your disability and the needs that you need. And a template of it is available from the gov.uk website. And the idea,
Show notes.
you what, sorry?
Links in the show notes.
Yeah, probably. And okay, I'm going to read a little bit about it from the Gov website. It says, if you have a disability, a health condition, or have additional requirements, which mean you need adjustments, to help ensure your adjustments are documented, you should consider completing an adjustment planner. And effectively, it's that document. And we're going to run through some of the shite that's on it, basically.
Yeah.
It could prove. Wait, this doesn't make sense. It could provide it. Oh no, it
I
does.
saw that. No, I
It
didn't
could
think
provide
it
a useful tool to support your progress in higher education, take up work during term time, or move to employment by enabling you to plan your future. What is this? Who wrote this?
I know.
Yeah, it's not very. This is coming from Thesaurus Rex here. It is not good grammar at all.
I didn't read that particularly well, admittedly, but anyway, it says the adjustment planner can help give you support by enabling you to identify any extra support or arrangements you might need whilst you are a student or in the workplace. It can raise awareness of support in education, including disability students allowance and support and access to work application for extra support if you also need that.
So if this is being marketed to students, I would assume they would already have disabled students allowance set up.
Well, they're at the end of their school year.
Yeah. So why
You
would
get
they need to
D.S.A.
get?
at uni, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Why would you need it just being marketed to like 18-year-olds then,
Yeah, around, yeah.
or university
Partly.
students?
Yeah, a little bit as well, yeah.
Okay. Well, whilst doing your application for your university, there is aspects that you would get your D.S.A. sorted out with any funding or anything else to do with your admission.
Yeah, I guess you do this planner before you do that, maybe.
Potentially. Okay, I'm not going to knock it yet. I'm not knocking it yet.
It's a confidential personal document that belongs to you, and it cannot be shared with anyone without your permission. I'm also reading again from the government website.
Okay.
It can prepare you for interviews and provide a structure to support you to have more confident conversations with potential employers about your working requirements. And, it also supports you again with the access to work application, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then it gives you a bunch of questions that you might want to consider. So luckily for me, I have the government website open here. So here are some of the shite that it talks about. So actually, it starts you with a template, and the first thing is like about you. And at the top, conveniently, it says name, colon. So, you can put your name there if you're going to use this template. And then it says, think about what support could help you. So, does your disability or additional requirements vary depending on the day, time, and such? I'm going to read this shit, and then we'll talk about our own stuff, right? I figured that'd be the best way to do it. Have you previously had any extra support? And do you have a disability or health condition that could benefit from adjustments? So when you guys went to university, did any of this shite apply to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, I'll move on then, I guess.
Well, let's expand on that outside of the yes, shall we?
Hey, Selina said yes and a cough.
Yeah. Unless it's edited out. in which case it didn't happen.
No, never happened.
So, yes, I think this applies to a lot of disabled people. Not everyone, but okay. I got to open the screen doors a little bit here, the curtains, whatever. Universities are notoriously bad for inclusion and accessibility. They are notoriously bad. A lot of them are very old buildings, old campuses, a lot of historical premises, which either they refuse to do adaptations to, or they'll use the fact of older buildings and things like that to get out of it. Essentially, listed buildings, all that sort of shit. They can do a lot of things to negate it. Like giving a building to a union because that's a charity. And there's some weird stuff with charity law to do with adaptations to buildings. They can get around that. So I think these questions are, yes, I think a lot of disabled students are going to have things that they need to adapt, like conditions fluctuate a lot for a lot of people day to day. You likely need adaptations, and even if you don't feel like you do need them, you should probably go hard on those. Pretend it's the worst day for your condition and use that as your metric.
Imagine you're filling in your PIP form.
Basically, yeah. Do it on your worst day, not your average day. But what I'll also say is if you have a mobility, if you need adaptations for mobility reasons and you're going to university, do not expect them to be honoured or anything to be done with them. It sucks to say that. It absolutely
It's
does.
really bad.
And universities are getting better at it. But I work in this sector, and there's so many fucking committees, and I'm on some of them, about adapting things, and it always gets met with, yeah, we want to preserve how nice the campus looks. So they won't put in ramps. They're trying to get better at it, but I'm just saying maybe choose university based on the accessibility need. Go and see them. Don't go to university you think, oh, I really want to go there, and find out that it's inaccessible. Because even if you do fight and get them to put accessibility requirements in place for the buildings you're studying in, they have a way of dragging things out for literally years. You'll graduate before they do anything. As long as they say they're going to do it, they are given pretty much a 5-year window of when the work can be done. And then once you've left, they don't have to do it anymore.
It's a pretty good top tip,
Yeah.
albeit surrounded with a lot of negativity.
But
I was going to say, like, this isn't really encouraging me if I was listening to this right now, 18, thinking of going to uni.
Yeah, but pick a uni that's accessible for you. Good tip.
I did.
Yeah.
I picked an accessible uni. I didn't go to a brick university. I went to the open university.
I think that is a good choice for a lot of people, to be honest.
It was. They were very accessible. I had double time for my exams. Any visual, like, assignment questions I had, they already had alternative assignment questions available. All of their course material was Green Reader, like, tested beforehand to make sure it was accessible. And it was great.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. That's great. And what I will say, a lot of lectures and seminars and tutorials are mostly online still. So if you go for the open university and don't go to a brick university, you're only losing out on, say, like the uni experience, and that is a good thing as well, like getting out there, becoming your own person, getting independence, like the social aspect. If you don't give a shit about that, there's no point going to a brick university. There really isn't, because a lot of your lectures are going to be online anyway. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
If you are, maybe think about it in terms of halls, though. When I went to university, I could see much better than I can now. However, I picked specifically my halls of residence because it was much more accessible for me to get around. And it included one of the meals with my food. But it wasn't the main halls of residence. They had 3 different campuses for halls of residence, and I picked the middle one, basically, because it was more accessible for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility. And you have to be willing to make that effort to research and make sure that it is a right fit for you if you do want to go to a brick university. you have to put in that effort, because there is a lot of like flexibility there, and ultimately you're paying thousands of pounds, tens of thousands of pounds in a lot of cases, and you want to make sure that you are getting what you need out of it. But just with that asterisk, like I said before, like, don't expect the university to make drastic changes for you. But disabled students allowance, really good, especially for things like equipment and stuff like that we'll probably get onto. Disabled students allowance is really good for that side of things. But yeah, this was more about the mobility side of things. Don't expect the university to change their premises for you. They won't.
Well, if you need those things, write them down in your adjustment planner, paragraph 1. Anyway, moving
I have
on.
a question, sorry, about this adjustment planner. Like, you've
No.
got it open on the Gov website. No, you'll be able to answer it. It's okay. You've got it open on the Gov website. Can you like type your answers in on there and then you like press, I don't know, send it to me, or is it just, why am I writing my answers?
On a document of your choice.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't really find. I was expecting to find like a link. Maybe I missed it. That's fair to say. But I scrolled all the way down and there wasn't like a click here to start your own adjustment plan. This is just like a web page with a template on, and for some reason it just at the top it needlessly says like name, colon, and then asks you all these questions with bullet points.
Have you download it?
Just scroll all the way to the frickin' bottom now. Hang on. Na, na, na.
Ripping content for Twitch.
It doesn't look like it,
I can't say I'm surprised.
but you can, just press Control A and Control C into a document of your
Yeah,
choice.
that's fair.
Control V today is not control. But anyway,
Control A, Control C. You didn't let me finish. You've got to copy it first, and then Control V.
Yeah.
And then Control X. The website might break. Leave it there for the next person that goes to the government website.
It wouldn't surprise me if that just happened.
Okay.
All right. Next heading on the adjustment planner is the types of support you might need. Travel to work or university, I guess. This could include a taxi, changes to a vehicle. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I thought they meant like I don't know, you get in a car and then you have to make a change to another car midway through. A travel buddy. Oh, that reminds me of my fire buddy at work. And other, please add to your own document.
Well, that's vague. Other is vague.
It also says please add.
Yes, because I would just put other.
But if you can get some sweet cabs to and from university or work, go for it. Access to work, you'll end up paying for them probably 2 to 3 months in advance. So make sure you've got a little pot of money to be able to afford these taxis before they pay you back.
Not too much, or they might take your benefits.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to have the right amount, which is not specified by the government, because they're still doing this bullshit with the legislation. An unspecified amount that you have to guess to make sure that you have what you need to get into work.
Well, did any of you guys need that shite? I said shite a lot today.
I think for some people, again, I'm going to go. We've done a lot on access to work, so I don't want to go too heavy on the access to work side of things. But for the university side of things, I think for some people that'd be useful. If I'm being honest, I think if you're going to go to an actual university and not be online for the Open University, I think it's really important, if you're going out for that independent experience, to try and make do and try and learn to not rely on that and try and build your independence. It's a great experience for learning not just what your chosen subject is, but learning about life and how you can be an independent disabled person in the world, because of the social model. So yeah, I think it's a good experience, but to have that as a backup, I think that does help. But I think I wouldn't say to rely on it, because if you're going to rely on that, like a taxi just taking you there and bringing you back and stuff like that, unless it's an absolute essential, you might as well just do the Open University and save a shitload of money in maintenance loans.
How did you
Yeah.
travel to university, Selina? Did you walk to the next room and switch your laptop on?
We had face-to-face tutorials with the Open University.
Oh,
Um, I learnt the route. Got on the train, had to walk there, never used it. Ended up making a couple of friends on my course who happened to live in like the same village or the next village over, and they used to drag me. To watch
smart.
tutorials.
Make friends, take advantage of them. Top tip.
Yep.
Yeah,
Travel buddy.
Travel buddy,
Yeah.
yeah. Wait, it said something about travel buddies. Oh my God, that
Yeah.
totally fed in.
Might not be subsidized.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, some people live at home and don't then go to uni, like commute to uni, don't they? Not everyone goes and stays away in halls and stuff, so they might need a taxi in and out. No, is that right?
No, because if you live at home and then your university is close to where you live, in
Yeah.
theory, well, you just learn the route, don't you?
Yeah. I think it's important to learn that route.
Especially if it's your local area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not willing to do that, or it's not something you can do, then I would say probably, Open University. Just do that.
I would say when I went to university, speak to your local council because I had someone come out to my halls and they basically said, "What are you struggling with?" And I was like, this, and this. And they came out and we walked around. So they showed me how to use the washing machines and things like that in the halls of residence because I couldn't see like the coin slot and stuff properly. So they made sure I was adequately versed in that. We did some of the routes, so to university and to town and things of that nature. Some of the local shops just pointed out where certain things were. So that can be quite useful. I found that extremely useful when I started uni, actually.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Also charities as well. Like speaking for the visually impaired and blind community side of things, because that's what we know. RNIB do some stuff. Guide dogs, especially for mobility, you don't need to be contacting them for a dog. They will do cane skills with you and will teach you routes. So you can get in contact with guide dogs if you want to learn some routes, if your local council isn't prepared. And let's face it, a lot of councils, that's not their priority at the moment. Not going bankrupt is a lot of their priorities.
Well, Nottingham failed.
Well, not even failed. A lot of councils failed. But guide dogs, they will help out. They're quite good at it, and
Guide Dogs, the organisation, is not the actual guide dogs.
no, not the actual guide dogs, but the organisation will help out, and they'll do route training and stuff like that with you. Like they're more than happy to do that. They have a dedicated team to do that.
Cool. All right, moving on, just because we've got a fair bit to get through. Accessing educational work premises. T touched on this earlier, but things like accessible parking, accessible toilets, a ramp or lift, and many more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ramps, you might be able to get around that. Again, try and choose a place based on that. If you are going for an open day, you'll know roughly what you're studying. Don't just be one of the kids in the group with the parents who just potter around showing everything. Go to where you'll be studying, because it doesn't, just because the university has a great central like administration building doesn't mean that the chemistry labs are going to be accessible. So if you're doing chemistry, go to them. They will not show you absolutely everything on these tours. You need to go there specifically. And if you get in contact with Disabled Student Services at any university, you can arrange to meet someone and do a bespoke tour with them. If they're not willing to do that, students' unions, but they will also oblige if the university doesn't have that facility in place. The union will do that for you. And they'll meet you there. They'll take you to where you'll be studying, and you can figure out whether that's going to be accessible for you. If it's not, maybe think about going to another one of your choices that is more accessible for you. Might not be the best, yeah, as far as like prestige of degrees, but there's only like a dozen degrees that really matters about the prestige of university nowadays.
Business studies.
Absolutely not. Medicine, veterinary science, engineering degrees, a few others. That does matter where you go, because it's a really competitive market, and the first thing employers look at is where you studied, and they'll just bunny hop people to the top based on the university.
Fair.
Pretty much everything else does not fucking matter. It really doesn't.
Salt Moon, anything to add?
He covered it.
One thing that was actually on here, which I thought was a good point, referring to the work side of things. This is genuinely on the government website as well. That I thought was a good point. First time. If you're at work and you're working somewhere like a call center and you hot desk, they'll give you a designated desk, so you don't have to wander around looking for a desk every time. That was the bane of my existence as a visually impaired person when I've worked in several call centers.
That is actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Moving on, communication support in education and or work. So they've got on here additional processing time, for example, in an interview or a timed task such as exams, BSL, a note taker, or information in different formats such as, large text, audio. It says Braille here, but I'm not sure why you'd want that. Yeah, that sort of thing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good tips.
Yeah,
If that's what you need, write it down in your plan. It's more about identifying what you need as a person.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've done an episode on interviews and stuff like that in the past. Refer to that when it comes to other aspects of interviews. A lot of charities, especially if they are like equal opportunities, like employers, not charities. A lot of employers, you can find out if they're equal opportunities, and if they do have that accreditation, they have to give you the concessions when it comes to like interviews if you need more time, things in advance, that sort of stuff. So check their website. If they have that, you can ask for it, and you can't be knocked down for that. They can't mark you down because that's what that accreditation is for. If they don't have it, it's a bit of a crapshoot. I'm sorry to say, it is a bit of a crapshoot because they might think, oh, if they're going to take longer than an interview, they might take longer, and we have like targets and shit.
You'll still find discrimination at the end of the day when it comes to that stuff.
You are, but if they do have that equal opportunities accreditation from the government, they can't knock you down for needing extra stuff. So that is something to take the weight off your mind.
At least not openly.
Yeah.
At least not openly, but we're not going to go into that. We're not going to go into that. Having an interview and failing is better than not going for an interview at all.
It's all practice at the end of the day.
Yep.
And what I would say is this document, as you're finding out, has quite a lot of sections. If you're going to an interview, just pick and choose the bits that you need to give them.
Yeah.
Like you just say, I need this and this. You don't. Here's my document. It's 45 pages.
Yeah. And dare I say, a lot of companies will not even be aware of what this document is.
Most. I wasn't till about 3 weeks ago.
Exactly. And I've never heard of this.
It's more for you as a person that you can turn around and say, here it is. If you want to know anything about me, it's all written down right here. Slap it on your HR manager.
I'd be intimidated by that if I was recruiting and I was sent that without prior knowledge. Here's my adjustments planner of something I've never heard about, and it has a comprehensive list, although useful, would put the shits in me.
No, but at least it'll answer those questions that like the employer might have and then ask, like you've answered it, like how the hell can you do this? And it's all there. It is.
Yeah. It's possibly better if you've got it, like let's say you've got the job and then here's the adjustments planner. And the same with when you get into university, it's like, here's my adjustments planner.
Yeah.
When you go in to like look around universities or when you're going to an interview for a job, you pick the bullet points.
Yeah. Don't send this off of your CV for fuck's sake.
No.
Do that. Give it
would not recommend
afterwards.
All right. So the next section is specialist IT programs. Some of them listed here are JAWS, Zoom Text, Text Help, Read and Write, and Dragon. I don't know what at least 3 of those are.
Yeah, I know Dragon, JAWS, Zoom Text.
Oh,
I don't know
what's
what the
Dragon?
middle ones are. Dragon
Dragon.
is where you talk and it writes what you say.
That's good. It's a good little program, that.
Yeah, almost as if a phone does it for free.
Yeah. Dragon phones.
Yeah.
Oh, they're coming.
Yeah. So, yeah, really important. I think if you can. Okay, I'll go be a bit of a. Actually, it's not a dick thing to say. Like if you're going to university, even if you don't think you need one of these pieces of software, get it.
Yup.
They cost anything up to and including £1,000. Some of them cost more. It's astronomically expensive. Some of this software. You can get it through disabled students allowance, as well as a really good laptop, as well as other equipment. Disabled students allowance will get you what you need, and this is stuff that will help you going into your next employment, because you can say, I already have the software.
It harkens back to what T was mentioning originally. Just when they give you the assessment for D.S.A, just do it on your worst day. Make sure you get everything you could possibly need.
Yeah.
Better have and not need and need and not have.
Yeah. I've still got a scanner, not opened
Why?
in my wardrobe.
Well, you've got to milk it. Get absolutely everything.
Got it, but didn't need it.
If you don't need it in the end, just flog it.
Yeah, that's what I say. Just get
Need to
I'd
do
eBay
that.
the shit out of that.
Yeah. But for the software, definitely get it. Even if you're not a user of, say, JAWS, you might need it down the line. Get it now where it will cost you nothing. Because once you've been in employment for 6 weeks, it's no longer subsidized by the government as far as access to work. Depending on your organization, they might have to fill that entire cost. And if it's not in the budget, they can weasel out of it. It's not a legal requirement for them to get it for you. And if the bill is going to be £1,000, £1,500, they might just tell you to jog on.
It depends how big your organization is to how much they have to contribute to access to work.
Yeah, but big organizations still can have budget problems. That's the risk. I'm in a big organization and I don't think I could get JAWS. I've got a half working laptop at the moment and there's no budget for a new laptop.
Apparently, JAWS is really cheap in America. It's
go.
like just here that it's stupid money.
Yeah, but yeah, more expensive here. Just get disabled students allowance to pay for it. Just do that. It's the best way to do it.
On that subject as well, also on here is specialist equipment. So, computer hardware such as mice, keyboards, if you have mobility issues for your hands and legs, that sort of thing, desks, stand-up desks, specialist furniture, height adjustable desks.
If you know Braille as well, get yourself a Braille transcriber or anything to do with Braille, even if you're not thinking that you might use it. Because the one thing I regret not doing is that when I was at uni, because I know Braille.
Yeah, but didn't you learn how to use a computer?
Yeah, but then
I'd argue
you
lessons
leave
in
it,
that's probably better.
You leave it a couple of years and you can sell a fucking transcriber, like a £3,000 transcriber.
Like, the money making
scheme.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you absolutely could and go on a 5-star holiday to Turkey.
Wow. I mean, for 500 quid.
Yeah.
2 days all inclusive.
I'm just saying.
In the vegan corner.
Honestly, mine wasn't that much more than that.
But I'm just saying, that's one thing I regretted. I didn't put Braille down there, and I could have done and gotten a load of Braille stuff. I wouldn't have used it, but the government's fucking paying for it. They don't ask questions. They'll just get it for you, providing you have comprehension and skills in it. If you don't know Braille, don't ask for Braille shit. They'll just say no.
It says a Braille reader on here, actually.
Yeah, and they are expensive. They are so expensive. And when it comes to computers and stuff like that, tell them you need a very powerful computer or laptop because of the software you're getting, because it can be quite intensive on the system. Otherwise, they'll just slap you with a £200 Chromebook from Curry's or something like that, and it just will not do the job. Go big or go home, because again, like, you get quite a lot of allowance. You'll struggle to make up all of it in most cases, even if you are doing it based on your worst day. So get what you can out of it. The money is there. If you don't use it, you can't go back to it. It's very hard to get equipment down the line in your second year of a study, third year study. It's a lot harder to get it then. Get it in the first year.
It even says on here, noise cancelling headphones. So get yourself a sweet pair of like wireless Bose.
Yeah, like £300 headphones.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Do that. Because they literally will not go for the cheapest. Like, they go for quality, and you can get some really good stuff. Like, do it. Absolutely. It's one I have had thoughts about going and do a part-time postgrad, and then getting a load more shit because I could do that around my current job. And yeah, I can do some more technology, and I can renew my D.S.A because it's been that long, and just get a shitload of equipment, like 10 grand of equipment, as well as my postgrad, of course. But yeah,
I'm actually sitting on a £1,000 computer chair funded by Access to Work right now.
What?
Yeah, and I don't know why it's £1,000, but it's got like this little cool pump on it. Like you pump it and it gives you back support.
Most
Wow.
office chairs have that.
I bet
Oh,
Shanty loves
I
the
hadn't
pump.
had it before.
Okay.
It's like extra like lumbar support. That's it.
Bah.
Mm.
Okay.
And you can
Yeah.
like lean back on it. You know, like when you swing back
You
on
mean
your
like
chair.
every chair?
No,
I love
but
leaning
like it
back on chairs.
moves back. But it actually like the wheels stay on the floor. And
Okay.
yeah, I got a
Okay.
chair. Comfy.
I got a chair. Nice.
Yeah.
It also says if you've got any of your current equipment that needs upgrades, make sure you get those. Support. Right. So any additional sort of sensory sensitivities is here. So it just says like adjustable lighting and quiet spaces.
A lot of employers are doing better at that. Universities are doing better at that as well. Again, this is something you bring up after you have the job, but a lot of places are becoming a lot better at this about well-being and welfare of employees. It is a really, really important thing. One thing I've noticed that isn't on here is hybrid working,
Okay.
because some people's conditions and needs will mean that they potentially would be fatigued or not able to attend that place of work as much as like another person.
But that'd be in the job description you're applying for, surely.
Surely, but some places do say flexible working, and if you were to have, say, a hybrid working section on this form, you could use that as a means of trying to get that flexibility.
I think you're
Yeah.
legally allowed to ask now for that. There was some new law put
Yes.
in the other month that you're legally allowed to ask to work from home from time to time.
Yes, and they can't flat out refuse. They have
No.
to meet you halfway. That the new law says that they have to negotiate with you. They can't just say no.
Yeah.
So they could just say 1 day, and that's them negotiating. And then if you say that's not good enough, as soon as you say that, then that's you closing the negotiation, and they can decline after that. So just be aware of that. Like their counter offer, it's not really a counter offer. Not really. If you don't like it, that's the end of the conversation usually. But they can't just say no anymore. They can't just say no.
No. Right. Support while you're at work or at university, higher education, wherever you are. Do you need someone physically to help you out? So just to help you learn or complete parts of the job for you. Develop coping strategies. Develop coping strategies. No.
No.
Third time's the charm. I can't even say charm. Develop coping strategies, instructions and processes, or additional time to do things. So yeah, you might need someone physically to do that, and Access to Work can help with that sort of stuff. With regards to an educational standpoint, do you know a bit about that too?
Yes. You can have I can't remember the term for it. It varies from institution to institution.
Amanuensis.
You can have someone with you.
PA.
Basically, it is a PA. But they can help you with anything from navigating campus to taking notes for you, for getting you there and back, that sort of thing. So you can get that under disabled students allowance as well. That's absolutely fine if you feel that that's something you would need. Bear in mind that it's something that you will have to. It's difficult to get the timings worked out, to be honest, because if you ask for like a full time, then you might not need them full time, and then they're just like hanging around you all the time, and that can really detract from the social aspect. But then if it's not enough, it's quite hard to get more. So you need to get the calendar essentially. See if you can get the academic calendar in advance, so you know roughly how much you're going to be on campus, relative to like what buildings and near other buildings. Again, Disabled Student Services are great for that. They can have a conversation with you or the Students' Union, so you can get an idea of how many hours you need, add a couple of extra, and there you go. Just because you can get the full hours, you don't if you don't need them, because then you've got someone with you all the time. And I've spoken
No,
to
they
students.
don't have to be with you all the time, though. They could be going away and making your course
Coffee.
material accessible, or
No, that
they
I
can
would
be
draw.
doing other things. They'll be
They
typing
can be.
notes, then email. They don't have to be stuck to you 24/7.
No.
How do you approach that? Do you go, "Oh, I'm done with you now. Off you fuck. I need you in
Yeah.
about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Go get yourself a coffee. Have
Also,
lunch."
the issue with this is the hours have to be justified as well. If
Well,
you
it is.
do have
They're
to
off doing
justify the
this.
hours.
They're doing
And
something for my education. They don't have to be with me the whole time.
but adapting materials is not something that they can do either. That's something
Why
that
not?
the university has to do. That it's actually mandated within the Education Act that they have to make all educational materials accessible to any needs. So if you have someone doing that for them, then they're in breach of the Education Act 2010, which is a
That's stupid.
huge issue. It is, because a lot of them aren't very good at doing it, and there are gaps in the system. But essentially, having your PA do that for them, they won't allow it, because it basically just shows that they are not sufficient under the Education Act.
But what if the university contributes or pays for your assistant?
They won't. It'll be a government funded thing.
Okay, fair.
The university won't pay for jack shit, mate. They're about making money. Universities are businesses. Sorry,
Everything's
kids.
a business.
It's a business. They're there to make money, bleed you dry, and give you a bit of paper at the end that might help you get a job. That's what universities are.
Wow. Bleak.
It's absolutely true. I've worked in the sector long enough. That is exactly what they're there to do.
Okay. Someone's not having a great time at work. Lastly, I've got on here, lastly, supporting organizations. So any organization that you're currently getting support from, and these might be charities or just general organizations that might provide help for your learning or work throughout your normal life.
Yeah, loads of charities out there, too many to name, to be honest. But there are loads. And I've mentioned before, students' unions, they are charities. When you're studying, if you don't know where to go to students' union. They are completely independent from the university. You can go with them, and it's completely confidential. You can discuss things with them if you're not happy with how something's going, if you just need support, if you need some ideas on signposting, where else you can go. They are completely independent. Also, if the university isn't doing what they need to be doing, go to the union. They exist for that exact reason. They're there to keep universities accountable for academic excellence and consistency and benchmarking. Go to the students' union if you're a student. They might not all be the best, but they do try hard. They have a lot of passionate people working for them, but they will try their best. Unless you go to Sheffield, which is the best in the country, which, yeah.
Wow, someone's blowing smoke.
Yeah. I've been in their shadow a long time. A lot of people have.
Okay, well, that's all I have for the adjustment planner based on what the government is saying. So write it all down. And then that way you've got it all in a document. And all you have to do is literally adjust your adjustment planner every now and again if your needs change. And then if you want to go into work or get into university or just generally, it might be somewhere else that you just think, that you know what? It'd really help if they knew about me and my needs, and you don't have to sit there and explain it to people. If that, if you're not comfortable doing that, it's like, here it is, all written down in a document. Peruse it at your own leisure. The only thing I will say is maybe don't be super militant on how you go about enforcing that. Don't be like, "Oh, I gave you the document and you haven't done anything." It's like,
Don't do that.
You've got to cut people some slack as well.
Contrary to what you might believe, their world doesn't revolve around you. They have other shit to do.
Wait, what?
Like, if everything isn't being done in a timely fashion,
Right.
you just have to remember you're not the priority of these people. It helps them to help you, but like you said, don't be militant because they have other shit going on as well.
Cool. Right.
Okay, I think that's
I've been justified.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone good?
I think that was very concise and was more about university, but this is the time of year where it kind of matters.
We're timely. This is why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoever said we weren't?
You said we weren't.
Yeah, several times.
You said we're whack.
Anyway.
No, you didn't. You didn't, did you?
No. You sounded genuinely unsure. Cool.
So until next week, where we probably will be live again on Twitch.
Yeah, because that's what we do.
Yep. Have a great day.
See ya. Bye. Thank you for listening to Seesaw Podcast. Your feedback and comments mean a lot to us, so if you'd like to get in touch, you can do so in the following ways.
You can find us on X at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast. You can email us at seesawpodcast@gmail.com and can stream with us live every week on Twitch at Seesaw Podcast.
Remember to like, rate, review and share with a friend.
This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.